All right. Here we go. We got a bunch of people joining the webinar today. Thank you guys for all taking the time. A lot of new members here. So a few things I just want to cover real quick before Ryan tells you that nothing we say should ever be listened to in financial advice is one, we have a live chat for this, so please utilize the live chat. Also, we have a Q&A function as well, so please do utilize that. We will answer the questions as they come into that box there. And then Ryan, I think I'll let you take it away from here.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Alex. Just a reminder that all content provided by Trade the Chain is for informational purposes only. None of this is investment advice. Absolutely none of this is investment advice, and do not take it that way, please. That said, what we want to go over today, there's a wide variety of topics. We have research from Josh from TheTie. We have the new coins we added this week. We have some updates on the community migration, and we'll show you how to access Discord. Alex has some platform tips as well to go over in terms of trading strategies and how to use some of the data. Then we have Weston's trading corner where he goes over a lot of his winning trades from this week, shows you how he used the platform to earn those profits. And then, of course, Nichol's trading gems, any trades he had this week as well. So I guess we'll start off first with research that Josh has from TheTie. Go ahead, Josh.
Oh, me? Okay, sure. 1 second. I think I need to have screen sharing. Oh, screen sharing is already enabled. Wow, you guys are ahead of me. Okay, cool. All right, hold up. I got a couple different graphics. I got to plop them in here. I was hoping you guys would give me like, 10 minutes because ETH is at 1955. And I was like, oh, ETH Twitter volume reaching a new all-time high would look really nice, combined with ETH hitting 2K. Yeah, ETH Twitter volume has, surged like crazy. It doubled since the start of the year. So it's up from, about 10.9 thousand tweets up to 21.4 thousand tweets on average. One thing I want to, point out, and we're doing some more research on this, so we'll have more to share, is Binance Smart Chain is taking off like crazy and BNB is crushing it. Binance is, was trading at, $37 at the beginning of the year, and it's up to $314. It's a, almost a 10x since the beginning of the year, which is quite wild. 1 second, getting spam with notifications. And so, yeah, same thing in terms of Twitter activity. BNB Twitter activity is crazy. I don't know if you guys have been monitoring its long-term sentiment score, but it's been the 4th highest asset by long-term sentiment for quite a while. IOTA has also been really hot on long-term sentiment for quite some time, and it's ran up from like 40 cents to $1.50. And so that long-term sentiment score seems to have, found a few assets that are doing pretty well. And the other thing is, obviously super exciting this morning is, Bitcoin reaching 1 trillion by market cap. And something interesting to note is that, its market cap dominance has actually fallen quite significantly as it's hitting, it's hit the top 100 by, as it's hit 1 trillion in market cap. So not only are we seeing, a surge in Bitcoin, the overall crypto market cap is at $1.7 trillion, which is just insane. It just doesn't even make any sense. We're double the previous all-time high market cap effectively. I think it was 850 million. We're about to be double that, which is just, unbelievable.
Yeah, the market cap alone is awesome. And, one of the things we covered in one of our daily episodes this past week, Trade the Chain episodes on YouTube, was going through the pie analysis and where that bull run is that we expected to end. And I was happy to be in line with Peter Brandt's tweet that he did the day after that episode. But this is where a lot of people are beginning to pay attention, Josh. It's starting to move the needle at this market cap. So it's all good and we enjoy the ride. It's also good to see the backfill of that market cap with altcoins and not so much dominance from BTC.
Well, I was talking to one of the largest asset managers in the world yesterday. Multi-trillion-dollar asset manager. And they're like, okay, Bitcoin is really high. I don't know if we necessarily see a 4x, but, 4x or 10x on Bitcoin at this point, but they're like, it seems like a lot of this other stuff is starting to actually gain traction. Especially with DeFi and things like that. And I actually hosted, and I think I know you guys know him. I know you've hosted him. I had Avi Feldman on my podcast yesterday, and one of the things that Avi, was talking about was that look, normally in crypto, valuation isn't a thing and it doesn't matter. But one thing that does matter in crypto is relative valuation, and only in a bull market, right? When things are going up, you can start to look at, hey, X coin is X dollars in market cap, and that's kind of the ceiling for this coin, right? So for example, Pangolin is now at $20. Is Serum, Pangolin is, built on top of Avalanche, it's at $20. Serum, which is built on top of Solana, is at $5. Like, does that mean that, Serum, which is kind of similar in terms of functionality to Pangolin, could that go to $20? And I'm not suggesting that that's a good example or a bad example. I'm just saying that, we're kind of in this crazy market now, and I'm starting to now look at, like, okay, what is kind of similar to each other and kind of hasn't moved yet? Because at this point, everything is moving. It's just a matter of when it moves, right? It's like, okay, this week is AVAX week. Next week is Voyager week. Next week is BNB week, right? I mean, we're seeing these patterns of just, things just moving 100, 200% in a week, which is wild. And look, this is not going to last forever. And so it's, it's an exciting time.
And I just want to say quickly, folks, that to Josh's podcast too. Josh, if you could post that in TTC announcements, that'd be great. People want to take a look at that. But for you guys who don't know, Avi Feldman he's head of trading over at Block Tower, which is one of the most prominent funds in crypto. He's also, I've had the pleasure of speaking with him on the markets and stuff. He's also one of the most insightful guys. I really love where his mindset is with crypto and trading. Young guy, but incredibly smart. So definitely take a listen to that podcast.
Yeah, it's not live. It's going to go live on Monday. So I'll post the link on Monday when it's live.
Cool, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm really looking forward to hearing that. Avi's a good friend of mine. And, I've always enjoyed his commentary, his research, and can't wait to listen, Josh. Each week, we take feedback from our members, towards new additions in terms of coins or updates to the platform. And this past week we added a number of coins. Based on your requests and your desires for new assets. So some of them include Evencoin, Next, QLink, La Token, Genesis Vision, Telos, Grin, Lisk, Digital Note, Aladdin, Simple Token, Raiden Network Token, Fusion, and Perlin. So that's 13 new assets that we added since last week.
And I just want to make a note on that. We add these assets, periodically. You'll see them rolling out over the course of the months as we go ahead. We get a lot of requests for a lot of different assets. There's a couple things that we do before we list them. One, and the most important, is to make sure there's some parities of data that we're being able to collect, normalize, and produce accurate information for on the dashboard. So we work in conjunction with Josh and Ben on the backside doing that. So you can request these all the time. You have a particular token you're doing, you just put it into the help channel on Discord.
Can we make a token request channel, Alex, or something like that? So
I don't want to. I like we pull them out of the help channel. The reason I don't is because it's going to just get noisy, and then everybody starts talking about that token, and then like 5 days later, there's 5 pages on the token that somebody wanted and what the project's about. So we do get it. We do monitor. I definitely lurk in the shadows a lot. So
it's a pretty simple idea as to whether or not we can support a token. At the end of the day, TTC is 100% or very focused on sentiment. And to have sentiment data, people need to be talking about something, right? If only one person's talking about it, you don't want to be trading just on Weston's opinion. Like, Weston, we love you, but we want to hear more people's opinion than just Weston. And so, what we do is we go for, we need to see at least about 20 tweets a day that are from non-bot accounts to score sentiment. And so it just comes down to people need to be talking about something, right? If there's only 4 tweets a day, we could show you sentiment data, we can calculate it technically, but it's just 4 people's opinion. And, we found that that's not statistically significant. It's not enough data.
Oh, one more point. We did have a couple of tokens that did token swaps and migrations, and we got requests for them. We're working on those, and so we're migrating our side to the right token and putting that out. I forget what they are, but I just wanted to point that out.
Thanks, Alex. For those of you members that are new over the past week, you may not be aware that our community prior to last weekend was on Slack, and we've been migrating a lot of those users over to the Discord server that you're on now. That rollout started, as I said, last weekend, and there are more than a few members that are still on Slack that have been having a little bit of difficulty accessing the new community. So we want to just demonstrate how to do that, how to authorize Discord and join the newer version, the newer platform. So Josh, please show us how to do that.
Yeah, so when you're on the Trade the Chain website, just click TTC Community. It will pop up sign into Discord, click that button. And if you or don't have a Discord account, it will have you create one. Or like if it's something else that's not you, click not you, and then you just click authorize. And that's, hold up. And now you're signed in, and when you click on it, it will take you directly to Discord. So now it's all good. It's going to take me directly to the channel.
Welcome.
And that's it.
Very
So,
good.
straightforward.
So it's a very quick process, as you can see, but if anyone has any questions or encounters any difficulties, please ask us. Ask Weston, ask Trading Nichols, ask Alex, ask myself, or any of the other community members, and we'll be happy to help you. One more thing that we've gotten a lot of questions about, Josh, that I think would be good for you to show people is alerts. Could you do just a quick overview of how to set up alert, like an alert for a channel or suspend an alert for a channel, just so people.
I think Weston's the expert at Discord, so I'll let Weston take that one.
All right, let's just do a quick rundown of alerts, Weston, like 1 minute, okay?
Sure. So yeah, with Discord, you have much more functionality here. Let me pull up my screen and get into the server. But you can customize to your heart's desire, which is great. And let me know if you can see.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, one of the great things about Discord is really the functionality in terms of customization. So basically, significant developments, this one you're gonna always probably want to have on. This is where the listings come, but let's say you want to customize notification settings. Basically, this is the general area for the server. That's what they call them in Discord, Trade the Chain server, same thing. For me, I have it just at mentions. All messages would be like a beep, never-ending beep. But here's where you go. So significant development alerts. I've got all notifications selected. So everything that comes through that, I get alerted for. If you are really interested in Voyager, you can pick that. You can customize it any which way you want. And you can also mute the ones you don't want if you're getting inundated too much. So hopefully that's helpful. We can go into that more, but that's the way how.
Thanks for that, Weston. And we can absolutely, if anyone has any further questions, you know where to find us, support at tradethechain.com or on Discord, just DM us directly and we'll take care of that for you. Cool. So Weston, let's go over some of your trades this week. Weston's Trading Corner, we have Cream, VGX, FXS, and BNT. And please tell everyone the genesis of each trade, whether it was sentiment or fundamentals or a research note from Dennis. I always love this.
This is the part of the show we all like. This is the money-making part.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ryan. No, it was a super fun week for me, and I hope all of you trading. But I believe you said, I forget the order you said right there, but start off with Cream. This was a pure sentiment play. It was I think a 12 or 13% gain in about just a few hours. And I received a couple messages about this one because it was just a pure sentiment play. So maybe at another time we'll go into more details on that. But basically saw the sentiment come in through, and I realized, hey, this is likely going to rise. Entered about 174 was the price, and then exited I think 191 about 4 hours later.
Nice.
So not bad, not bad for a couple hours.
That's true.
Moving on, next was a Sig-Dev that, quick story, I was actually on a voice channel with Trading Nichols, and we saw it come through and I just missed it. I thought it was a repeat, and then I think he pointed out, hey, no, that's a real Binance listing. And we looked at it, we said, oh boy, but we were half hour behind. I still got in. I hope you did too, dude. But
No, I didn't. I was too scared of grabbing it late in the push, but I could have gotten another 20% if I had.
yeah, so I got in and I gained 30%, and then exited right away. I was like, I don't want to push my luck here, but just goes to show the power of those. I mean, we were literally a half hour late, and I still got 30% out of it. You know?
Did you guys get in on the Solana Bitfinex? It peaked at over 25% return.
I don't think I think I was sleeping during that one.
Weston, you're not supposed to sleep. We've told you
I
this
know.
time again.
I know.
You're sleeping.
What time did that come
Drink
in?
more
alarm
coffee,
didn't-
Weston. Drink more coffee.
That was-
and stay awake.
That was 9:41 Eastern time yesterday.
AM?
In the morning, he's asleep then.
Yeah,
that's
okay.
in the morning.
yeah, 8 PM. I would have got. I would have been in that 9:41. But yeah, so no, so that was great. But still, anyways, the point is, like, had we got in, that would have been an 80% return. You know, for everybody here, you pay for your membership in one trade, right? Like, you can't beat that. And then moving on to, I believe you said VGX.
Correct.
So I think we have a pretty loyal VGX. You know, you can kind of tell our community is, you know, we got the Cardano, VGX, Celsius fans here, lots of groups, but a lot of Voyager fans. I was posting about VGX, I think on Wednesday at 3:40. So I've been in and out of this, but I saw the sentiment, I saw the fundamentals. This is more fundamental play, you know, just with the growth of the platform above 5. So pretty solid gains, I think, for anybody who's been involved in the project and us posting it.
You just had the coolest RoboCop voice for about 30
I know,
seconds.
you were just slow.
What was did you do the research? Did you do the research play yet?
No, that's the last one. That's
Oh,
the,
jump ahead.
so we have
That's
FXS.
the last.
We have FXS and BNT Weston.
Yeah, so
I think Weston's having internet issues, unfortunately.
Yeah, Weston, you're cutting
FXS
out.
was the Sig-Dev. Okay, here, can you hear me now?
He donated his internet to Dennis, so he's a very generous guy.
Yeah. One of the things, while his internet gets has played out, I just want to tell everybody who's joining, because there's a lot of new people I see hitting the webinar right now. If you don't know, there is a channel in our Discord called TTC Research and Commentary. That is run by our head of research here at Trade the Chain, Dennis, who goes under the handle Divino. He does not only a Monday through Friday commentary report, which he posts in there, which links to the members resource portal. You can go back and look at any of them. But also throughout the course of the day, he does coverage and commentary on individual coins. Those little coins are like Sig-Devs. You got to pay attention to him. He is one of the smartest. Every day we have Dennis in Reuters, CoinDesk, Bloomberg, Cointelegraph. That's what Ryan's job is, literally to do as the PR guy. And he gives commentary every day of the week in all these publications, but he drops nuggets for our members in the TTC Community Research channel. Pay attention to him. When he says something, it usually is worth listening to.
Absolutely. And
On that
those
note,
insights-
am I
those
back?
insights today, yes, you are. But those insights today are already in CoinDesk, and they will be in Forbes this afternoon. So Dennis is everywhere. We're very lucky to have him.
He's already. It's not even 1 o'clock Eastern time. He's already in Forbes and CoinDesk today.
Amazing.
Yeah, so to BNT, Banker, it's actually one I followed for a long time on a fundamental perspective. I've traded in and out of it. We actually got a Sig-Dev about it a couple of months ago that I think I had 20% gains on. But then he brought my attention to it, you know, with the proprietary research we have here in Trade the Chain. And I looked into it some more and I thought, yeah, wow, he's pretty smart. He's really onto something here. And I put in a position basically right after that, and I'm up 40% closed, just a small amount, but we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, I mean, and that was just, I think, 2 days ago. So keep an eye on those research from Dennis for sure. It is such a benefit to have as a member of the community. Really, I can't understate that or overstate that.
Absolutely. We're very lucky to have him. And that morning research note is gold, absolute gold. I work with so many firms in this business, and I've worked with so many hedge funds, exchanges, prime brokers, you name it. I've worked with them, even in the traditional markets. And Dennis puts out by far the best daily research note of anyone. It hits the traditional markets, the digital markets, commodities, everything.
And that right before we go to Nichol's trading gems, which everybody loves. Oh yeah, Patricio, Bitcoin is better than gold. We get it. Dennis's research is so Bitcoin. Thanks, bud. So real quickly, there's a whole bunch of team members, but I'll go through 3 of them real quick here, or 4 of them real quick here. There's Ryan. He's a PR guy. He reps companies like eToro, Bquant, and 3 other major exchanges I can't even mention because I'm not allowed to. You have Josh here, who's a co-founder of TheTie, one of the most prolific AI data sentiments companies in crypto, if not the most prolific. He actually was ranked number 69, love it, in the top 100 in crypto.
Maybe spit out my water.
Telegraph. You have
It's a big deal.
You have Weston Nelson. He's our head prop trader, Trade the Chain, director of intelligence here. He's been with us since just about day 1. And then you have Trading Nichols here, who was a member and is now a ambassador and a core member of our team, and a really stand-up guy. And then you have me, and I'm not really anything. I'm head of institutional services for Bquant, the largest crypto prime broker globally. I oversee about $20–25 billion a month in crypto trading from institutions and hedge funds, and about $250 million in margin financing. But that's who we are. We do this. This is our day job. So we're not YouTubers, even though we like to play them on TV. We actually know what the heck we're talking about, and we will help you as much as possible. Anyway,
Alex,
I know what I'm talking
that's a
about.
nice
Listen
hat.
to Alex putting us in a May.
I'm sorry, one at a time. What was that?
It looks like you have a nice hat on today, Alex.
Yeah, Voyager.
You get some bling.
Mr. Steve
There
Earle.
it is.
Yesterday afternoon, I received a package at the door of my home, and Mr. Steve Ehrlich had sent me a Voyager hat so he could get free publicity from me because I wear hats every day.
Alex, it's
Oh,
also
my
worth
God.
pointing
What's
out.
going on in your TV? What's going on in your TV, Ryan? Turn around.
He's like swimming there.
That's Sky Sports News. I don't know what's happening on there. What? Okay. It's also worth pointing out that Alex and I are co-founders of Trade the Chain. That's our role in this whole ecosystem. So, if you have any questions ever at all about anything, we can help you. And if we can't, we know who can. So we're of course here to help, no matter what the question is, big or small.
Yep. And we take the good with the bad. So
exactly. And to that point, Alex is going to be giving us some platform tips in a bit, on how to use the price projections and sentiment trading tools that we have there. But first, we're going to get some trading gems from Nichols.
Okay. So I didn't get any big wins this week, to be honest. You can't get them every week. But with fundamentals as a whole sitting in my portfolio, everything just went up. I mean, 1.7 trillion market cap for crypto is just like everything is just going up without hardly any work. In the meantime, Alex really helped us out on a seminar on Saturday, and he's going to talk about that tool later. But he explained this kind of setups he likes to see, not as financial advice, but just ways to use sentiment. And I didn't get any of those really big pops off of him today or this week, but I got a few percent here and a few percent there. And if you are consistently working with good data over and over, overall, you're going to head in the right direction. You're not going to make as many trading mistakes.
Love that.
Fair enough. And we just got a question in from Kevin Sorbonelli. Where is the research posted? I don't see anything from Dennis.
I'll
So
show
Kevin,
it.
okay, Kevin, what you can do is we have the research channel, right? Which that's in the Discord server. But Alex is also going to show you where the member resource center is as well, where you can see all of the notes.
So everybody who hasn't found, oh, sorry, Ron, I didn't mean to cut you off, sir.
No, you're fine.
Anybody who hasn't found it, this is your nav bar. So this will take you to Discord. This will take you to member resource portal. You click on this, and this brings you over to everything. Like if you're new, you go to the academy, but this has everything in it. And you go up here to research on the nav bar, and this is where the research posted Monday through Friday each day. Dennis's, there he is. You can go there, you can Google his name, you can find out how awesome he is, and we keep him fully insured in an undisclosed location somewhere, not in this country. But that's it. So we have this. If there's Discord help, I might as well just run through this real quick for everybody.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so here's the members portal. We have things, this is new up. This is, we're constantly working on it. But we have things like the academy. The academy is really my responsibility here. I have everything from the new member tutorials going through different explainer videos. Okay. And then down here, I got data column definitions. I'm actually adding two more today, as well as tomorrow, I'm putting in another category, which is called trading techniques. And I'm going to go over Sig-Dev trading, as well as sentiment trading techniques for everybody. So these are all located in the academy portion of the website. If you go over to the library is where you're going to find this AMA along with others. I'm loading this one. I am promised everybody I'd load it up no later than tomorrow afternoon, for people who missed it, and I will timestamp them so you can jump to the different segments and not have to watch us speak for an hour. This is our daily Bitcoin and crypto analysis show from YouTube. So these are the latest. I guess this one has to regenerate from yesterday's. And then these are a roundtable series, so you could speak to us talking to Brock Pierce, Roger Ver, Alex Mashinsky, IOTA founder Dominic, BlockFi, and the like. So we have a lot of cool people we bring on, including Josh. Josh is on this. Josh is on this roundtable from when we interviewed him before we built Trade the Chain. The beginning of last year, and we held him down and made him do a deal with us. So
I thought I was going to get free publicity, and then all of a sudden, after Alex kept me on for hours and coerced me into into making our institutional data available for $100 a month. I don't know how he quite convinced me to do that, but
Now you're top 100.
Now, you have the community here, another button for the community. I already talked about the research and contact. Always remember, folks, if you need us for anything, good or bad, support at Trade the Chain goes to our centralized help desk. You can DM us, and then there's a help channel in the thing, and there's a form on that page. So please, you can contact us from a million different locations. But then there's this resource page that's not linked up yet. That is coming live Sunday evening. And the reason I want to really talk about this for a second, folks, is because there's a lot of scammers out there. And there's even people who do it by accident, not scam, but they drop links or post links into the chat. You don't know where that link's going, and it could take you for a ride. We've had a couple members who have done links and they've lost their crypto, literally. There's some sneaky crap on these links. Even if it's innocent, we don't particularly like at all members posting links, just because we don't want anything to go awry. The resource page are going to be links that that we verified, that are official links, and they're going to be for everything from exchanges to wallets to resources and everything like that. So if somebody's looking for a link to Celsius, this is going to be a verified link. And so this resource page will actually have dozens and dozens and dozens of counterparties and places to go, and you can trust clicking on them. We wanted to do that to try to really save the community after a couple got scammed. So thank you.
It's not what you make, it's what you keep.
Yes.
1970 ETH. We're so
So
close.
excited.
Oh, close. Come on, hit 2000. ETH Maxi.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Alex, do you want to show us?
On that note, I'm done. I'm out. Thank you. I got a guy bathing in a bathtub behind you in that show, so I'm entertained for the day.
Glad I could be of service.
All right.
All right, Josh.
Did anybody have any questions in the chat? Does anybody before we
Yeah.
hop?
Any sentiment data tech questions for Josh before he hops, guys?
Do you want to go over the price projection tool while we wait for that, Alex? Because that's a pretty quick explanation.
Sure. I love Petruccio is the class clown. He's so funny. Okay. We
That's not a question. That's a question.
some of you guys may have heard me go over this before. Last Saturday, I did a 1.5 hour live stream webinar to I couldn't even count how many new members. But I'm going to repeat myself again because it never gets old, and it's the #1 question asked every single time by a new member, and that is the 1 hour projection. All right. So this is how the 1 hour projection works. If I only shared my screen properly, you look up here, you have this 1 hour projection, you have 3 numbers, and you have this bar. Okay. Now, first and foremost, if you ever want to get to an answer on how we come up with any of these scores or how any of these ratios work, there's a question mark button here, which will pop something up to the right. Okay. And that'll give you a definition. The sentiment is made up of 3 numbers. You have one on the left, one on the right, one in the middle. The one on the right here for a Quark chain, let's say, is 10.2% to the positive side. And the left number is 0.96% to the bottom side. Now, this is the 1 hour projected range that we are expecting the price of the coin to be in over the course of that time period. Now, this is rolling and it will adjust. So it also doubles as a very good feature to monitor any positions you have to decide either entry or exit points. But this middle number is what confuses a lot of people. So it is the mean. This is the mean number between the left and the right. And as you can see, this one is pleasantly positive. The bar with the green is the total of all the percentages in a weighted average, and you can see it's positive to the top. This data gets refreshed every couple of minutes. You can see that located right up here, just refreshed a few seconds ago. And this is a great way to continuously monitor your coins.
So the only thing, so that green bar, because that gets brought up again after that. So maybe could you just add one more sentence again, like explaining the green bar is the overall, or in another way, because I do see where people get confused on that, but
so if you take up the 3 numbers in the 1 hour projection, the total of the 3 number averages, okay, Nikki, how are you? I loved your tweet the other week, and welcome, thank you. Let me pull this up one more time. Okay, so here we go again with pull up Bitcoin with the 3 numbers. So these 3 numbers is the width of the expectation. This one and this one on the left and right are the width of the expectation of the price in a 1 hour. Okay. And just so you know, the accuracy of the price falling within the ranges at the end of the hour to this width are 92.7%, I believe, Josh.
It depends. I mean, on an average coin, it's somewhere between 88, 89 and like 93%, over the last 3 years.
So this middle number is the medium average, the mean average of the total space between the price projection. The green bar is all of them totaled up and where they weight on a, let's say, 0 to 100. This green bar means it's weighting about 2/3 to 3/4 of the way to the positive side in positive momentum. So you could see that a positive 1.87%, the mean average a positive 0.54%, and the negative only being a 0.79%, totaled up, the weight falls right about here from 0 to 100 and is positive to the top side.
Right, so that's overall momentum and overall likelihood of it going positive or negative based on the given range of price outcomes, more or less, yes?
All right, I'm going to answer this next one real quick because I did get flack for this. Mark, I'm going to post this webinar, and I rewatched it. Okay, I was very tired that day. I rewatched it. I know I kept saying I was going to post it, but when I rewatched it, I realized how tired I was. I'm going to post it, but I swear, if anybody gives me negative comments on how droopy I look or how slow I am or something like that, I will be upset.
You were up at 2 a.m. that day. I know. I will swear by it. I remember we were working the whole day. So yeah.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to drop that link right straight out of Zoom. It's not going to go on YouTube. I'm going to put it into Ryan. Can I put it in TTC announcements so it's a locked up channel?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do.
Weston, Jeff Baker just asked a question that I think we can't answer directly, but you can tell him what you use. I think that's the best way to do it. He wants to know which dexes are best, that offer the most coins that TTC covers, and what the best fees are. So Jeff, we can't tell you which dexes to use or which ones charge the best fees, because fees do fluctuate, because we can't really give investment advice. But what we can do, Weston, can you tell him which dexes you use on a daily basis?
Absolutely. So my go-tos are Sushi Swap and Uniswap, pretty much hands down. Now, there's also a plethora of other options.
1 inch. I've been dealing with
instance,
1
like
inch.
if you're
Pretty good.
I would also take a look, and
Love
this has
1 inch.
gotten really hot in the last few weeks. Wait, am I on mute? I'm not on mute. Okay. Is trading on Binance Smart Chain. I mean, that's part of why Binance has done so well. So Uniswap, all the things we're talking about are built on top of Ethereum. But these new dexes, like I think Pancake Swap operates on top of Binance Smart Chain, and a few others have started to see tremendous volumes, and the cost associated with making a trade on Binance Smart Chain, maybe 4 or 8 cents, versus right now, I mean, people are paying $100 to trade on Ethereum.
I'll tell you exactly how it is. By the way, that's a great call, Josh. Also, Weston did a great video
LRC.
on Loop Ring and LRC's eliminating gas fees. So the other day I was doing a simple swap on Uniswap, and I think I was trying to put some just shoot some Ethereum over to Ledger so I can move some Chainlink out of it, and it was like a $350 transaction of Ethereum. And look at the gas fees. The gas fees were $54. I said, get out of town.
Ooh.
I completely hear you.
I'm personally, I'm going to switch to non-ETH based dexes because I can't take it. It's like, I've been thinking about maybe using AVAX or another, or DOT or something else, because it's just the gas fees are, I mean, like, I don't make giant, most of my capital I keep in Bitcoin ETH long-term, 80 plus 90, maybe 90% of my capital is just long-term hold, and I trade maybe 10%. And because it's 10%, it's not a giant amount. So when I'm trying to make trades, it's just, it crushes you.
Yeah, just check the
I
LRC.
completely hear you though, because Bitfinex is not a very exciting Sig-Dev most of the time. And when I looked at a $150 gas fee, I was like, I'm out on that one.
That's wild.
Yeah,
When you have gas fees that high, is there any, what's the slippage look like in terms of pricing because of the congestion on the network?
Oh, big. So I'll give this a real world example. I just went to move a large chunk of VGX, for those people who don't know it, VGX, I'm not being paid. From
not being paid, but the tokens got up 10x.
I can get VGX to move up another $1 by the end of this webinar. No, what happened is I had a little bag of VGX, sizable enough, and I wanted to move it out of Uniswap where I was keeping it and actually move it into my Voyager account so I could earn some of that interest. What happened is when I went to do two things, I went to do a whole transaction, a one-shot deal, 18.7% price slippage on a whole shot deal.
Ooh.
And then the last thing, which we used to do electronically, was blast Uniswap with short spurt orders to try to keep the price maintained. Slippage obviously goes down to less than 0.5%, but the gas fees for all the short spurt trades added up to like 40% of the whole bag. I was like, oh my God, this is ridiculous.
That's wild.
Reject, hit reject, right? Do it later.
Of course. Well, Uniswap won't take a short burst trading anymore. They rejected all my short bursts automatically.
I'm just trading on centralized exchanges again. I have not even like I'm gonna start messing around with Binance Smart Chain. Like that's just what I'm personally doing, and like I'm gonna try some of these other chains that are now releasing dexes just to see. But like I'm just trading on exchange now because it's cheaper.
It's cheaper. But seriously, use Loopring. If the token you want is on there, use it. It's live.
Yeah, and I do want to address one of Josh's things. So like I can't just trade on exchange no matter how much I like an exchange, because I live in the US, I live in New York. So I have double debit against me already. When I'm doing any of the Sig-Dev trading or sentiment trading, I have to hit up Uniswap, I have to hit up 1inch,
Pretty simple solution to that, Alex. I'm in Switzerland right now, for anyone wondering.
We're trying to talk in the parodies of the rules. I do use Proton VPN, their premium service. It is very fast. I have a gig up and down in my house, and the slippage moves to a half a gig. Not bad. But that's for a different great conversation.
Also, I mean, you can, if you're not trading like significant amounts, or you're not like day trading in exotic tokens like Weston is, if you're sticking with some of the more liquid tokens, using a brokerage platform like a Voyager or what else is out there, I think is also very viable for a lot of people, right? Because I've done a lot of sentiment trading and Sig-Dev trading off of what I see on Trade the Chain just within the Voyager app itself, and I've had a ridiculous gains doing that even, and that's just what's that?
Exactly.
That's exactly right. There's 50 plus coins in Voyager.
Okay.
If you live in New York, my Coinbase account shows 8 or 9 coins, and friends don't let friends use Coinbase. If you can get Voyager, go to Voyager.
Listen to this. Coinbase secondaries. I was talking to somebody this morning. 135 billion. They're trading at 420 a share right now in secondaries.
That's ridiculous. Is that on the FTX?
No, that's like in real secondary share markets. That's not on FTX.
So what are they trading at? Is that the private market, the Nasdaq private market, or is that what are they trading in the private market?
LSEGs. It's the London Stock Exchange's equivalent of that. They're trading at about
125 million.
135.
That's wild. Maybe they'll use some of that capital to improve their infrastructure so they don't go down every time number go up.
Ryan, I was wondering, because we have like 10 minutes before we have to film Trade the Chain. So two things. One, I was wondering, can you hit up the market rebels and tell them we're going to be a little late? And two, can I go into my sentiment trading techniques?
Please go into your sentiment trading.
All right, I got to hop, guys. But
Josh,
have a good weekend, everyone.
Josh, be well.
Have fun in Switzerland.
Great safe.
Thank you.
Yeah, enjoy the slopes.
I'm enjoying Geneva actually right now.
Later, buddy.
See ya.
All right. So this was hot. I know I said I'm going to drop the thing from last Saturday, but I'm just going to go over quickly how one of the primary way I trade sentiment trading. So unlike Weston, I get it. I'm in a different sleep pattern, right? So he's up at 1 a.m. and I will say that there's a lot of the Sig-Devs come on the Asian hours. I'm asleep at 1 a.m. So I do a majority of my trading off the sentiment screen through the course of the day. In front of me, I have a wall of screens actually for my regular work, and I have a bank of screens on the left that are trade the chain with my screener so I can do enter and exit my positions and monitor. The first thing, folks, I do is I come to the coin screener page and I go to the 1 hour projection. I toggle the 1 hour projection so I have it in descending order from the top down, okay? Now, from this position, I've been doing this for a while. I look at and scan the first top 10, 12 coins, and I can glance and pick out the first two, one or two that I want to pay more attention to go into. So from here, and I'm missing a thing. Where's my 1 hour change? If you don't know how to customize, go to customize. You can add and delete different data columns. Perfect. And I'm glad I did that, because Serum is going to be my favorite, not just because it's on top, but because it's showing me some great numbers that I like to keep in range. First thing I do is projected 1 hour projected range. I like 7% to the heavyweight. I like the mean being 3.2 to the top side. And I like the fact that we're only 1.1% on the left for negative rate. The next thing I do is I go over to the right, the relative tweet volume and the relative trading volume. These two indicators are important for me because I like to see that there is one noise happening. Now, mind you, the noise that's happening can be positive or negative, and you need to figure out which way that noise is going. But in this, all the indication is going to positive sentiment. Relative trading volume. Honestly, I'd like to see a little bit more than 31%. Something ideal for me is 50, 60% on up. But this shows me there's participants in the order books. There's people trading, and there's activity in the order book. I like that. I don't want to not get an order filled or have a widespread slippage between the bid and ask. From the right-hand side here, I go to the left and I go to daily sentiment. I don't care about long-term sentiment because I'm not married to this thing. I'm swing trading this. I'm going to be in and out of it anywhere from 30 minutes to 3-4 days. The longest I've been in a sentiment trade is 5 days, and that's it, and I'm gone. So bullish at 80% or 80 points is very high. So that's checking that box. Obviously, I like the 30-day at 169 in gains. 7-day, 13, fine, not paying attention to it. The next two are what I pay attention to the most. 24-hour, 22%. I like this for a couple different reasons. One is I could see that it hasn't taken up a lot of runway to the upside in a short amount of time. And two, I can see that there's not a lot of volatility in that 24-hour range, which I'm going to look for affirmation on that by the 1 hour. The 1 hour is negative, and of course it changes. So,
well, you should have got in about 5 minutes ago.
I should have got in by 5. I should have got in by 5 minutes ago. It changed, so now I'll just segregate it here. So this number on the 1 hour is showing me
No, I
there's
think
not
you're on the wrong one.
which
I think you
oh,
clicked
I lost it all together.
SRM. It's right there,
you.
number
There
5.
we go. Thank you, folks. All right, so this number being within, I like it to be within 5 or 6% up or down. I don't care if it's negative. I'm just looking for short-term volatility. I want to pick something that I'm not going to have to worry about with my entry point. So if I'm at the top of a seesaw in a 10-point spread, in a 10, 25% spread, I don't want to have to worry about, am I going to be at the top of the seesaw or at the bottom? I like it to be relatively flat and neutral. So this one is showing me all the right aspects. Now I'm going to go back to the 7-day change real quick. This 7-day, 24-hour change. The 24-hour change at 23 is a good number. If it was 123%, that would be something where common sense says, hey, look, it ran a lot yesterday. I don't know if it's going to have a lot more to run. This is not always true, though. I just want to make that known. You should definitely take a look at a chart if you're into that, if it does have a high percentage and you're looking for affirmation to get into it, because we saw a couple of these over the last couple of months be up 60, 70% in 24 hours, and the thing still had 100% left in it for the course of the rest of the week. So don't cut yourself short on it. If I do, Serum is actually one that I would sentiment trade without affirmation. If I go back to the charts, something where I'm looking for a high volatility in the short term, maybe something I'm on the fence about, really nothing. It's all calm. OKB, I may go for affirmation on the charts. Go ahead, Brian.
Sure. Jeff Baker just asked if you'd do a webinar on profit taking strategies. You know, a lot of us are new to this and not used to these big gains. And he has one question. He wants to know how and when to take profits on longer term hodls versus shorter term trades.
Sure.
He's you know, more help around setting targets and percentages. Is that something you can do here, or do you think that's something that should be a longer term webinar, like a longer?
Yeah, listen, I'll include that in the webinar that I do plan on doing again this weekend. I'll drop the link in TTC announcements. But I will say that first of all, that's a great question. When it comes to hodling, you're going to see a whole bunch of people with a whole bunch of theories and stuff like that on the market. If you happen to see us, and none of it's financial advice, it's all purely entertainment. If you happen to see us like we did on Trade the Chain this week, where we went through a pie analysis of this bull run and we analyzed the last 3 bull runs and the historic patterns and where we felt this cycle was going to take us, we told you that we felt we were in about the 5th inning of this bull run, and that according to velocity and time decay, we thought that run was going to be up at the end of the year. The next day, Peter Brandt came out with a very similar call and said that he felt it was January, February. We feel that the price is going to be somewhere between the 125, 175,000 mark for Bitcoin itself. Just our assumption. You have a lot smarter people than us saying it's going to be higher and higher and higher. I'm just being conservative. But I will say, going into, I do believe in pie theory and analytics and the historics being correct in the cycles. There's a couple things that we noted on that show. One is there's going to be, if we do that and we have a retracement of 30 to 40 to 50% or more, which I do believe we're going to have, it's going to be further accelerated with the possible rebalancing of corporate balance sheets. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is you have people like Michael Saylor, you have people like Elon Musk and Jack Dorsey and a bunch of others now that are coming to this space, and they're gobbling up Bitcoin at a crazy rate where they're, by the end of the year, I'm probably going to occupy about 15% of ownership of the total supply of Bitcoin. Now, what happens is, with the exception of Michael Saylor, is those others are going to have a fiduciary responsibility to their shareholders to make sure that numbers come in for year end. They may be your friends on Twitter right now or social media, and it's great, and it gives them a lot of publicity and props. But when that comes, and if they need to de-risk their balance sheets and put profit to the EPS, the earnings per share on their conference calls, they're going to sell their Bitcoin position.
Bye-bye, Bitcoin. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. If we're already in a natural retracement, and we're going down, and I would say without corporate treasuries at least 30%, but this will accelerate it because there'll be further dump on the market. There'll be the open interest on expiries will be, it'll be all to the short side. But
Alex is
anyways,
telling the truth here.
So going into the end of that market cycle, I'm going to look at November, beginning of December, and if I feel that we're about to do a downturn, I don't want to be the guy to paint the top. I never want to be the guy to paint the top. I'm going to sell. So my personal thing is, I will tell you right now that I feel at the end of this bull cycle, I personally am going to sell all my Bitcoin and take profits on it and wait for that retracement to happen and buy back in to Bitcoin, because it's going to take 2 more years of that cycle to go into effect to where we are now, and then take the next step even higher.
And what you want to do with that, as it's going up, like Alex said, and you start seeing maybe sacrificing some of that profit isn't the end of the world, because as Trading Nichols always says, you keep what you keep, right? And ultimately you lock in those gains. And even if you're buying during, even if you buy during the retracement, even if you buy into a bit of the retracement and you end up going down a little bit initially, research has shown that buying in ahead of the rebound, longer term, you will make
DCA
profits. Yeah.
So DCA, but and then for the medium and short term trades, you got to remember this, and you know, you need to know that no matter how good a trader you are, or that there are out there, the only thing you care about at the end of the day or the end of the year is that more of your trades have made money than have lost money. You're going to always be on the losing side of a trade, no matter how smart or what you thought you predicted, because there's going to be so many different outside circumstances that can jump in and affect it. We often joke on, you know, Bitcoin short squeeze going into weekends, but what if Elon Musk has a little 420 at a party and tweets on Sunday night? That's something nobody expected, and next thing you're on the back end of that trade. Just make sure you're not always trying to kill it. Take profits, man. A lot of 15, 20, 30% gains to be had. In the equities world, you don't realize, we all have forgotten, that used to be hitting it out of the park.
Yeah,
now
in a year.
Now we call it not worth our time. Make it worth your
4
time.
hours now.
Pennies add up to dollars. The more trades you do and take those gains is great. Don't paint the top. Don't always try to hit it out of the park.
Exactly. You know, you can strike out 4 times. You come up in the bottom of the ninth and hit that grand slam. You're the hero, right? You can't win every trade and don't expect to. One last question, I think, because we do have to get going. We do have the Trade the Chain episode to record, everyone. But Janine Hogg asked, and this is something I think is good for Weston and perhaps Trading Nichols to answer. Do you expect alts to go down as much or with Bitcoin? And remember, none of this is investment advice. We're not telling you what to buy or sell. This is just how we see the market, okay?
So personal opinion, yeah. It completely depends, depending on the dynamics at the time. So that you got to stay vigilant always, no matter what. But if capital continues to flow to digital assets like it has been, that could be very different. You know, we may be in a different scenario, but likely, yes, Bitcoin retracing dramatically will affect alts dramatically, potentially even more. And so it's something to keep an eye on. Now, unless there's a new alt that's established itself as a safe haven or something that's non-correlated to Bitcoin, like a platform token such as a Celsius or VGX that, you know, stands pretty well when Bitcoin drops, you know, that's something to look into. But short answer then, to sum it all up, yeah, I would say yes, is my view.
I concur with that theory. It's obviously it's a systemic market cycle. So that's bottom line is, and this has to do with traditional, and this has to do with Bitcoin. When people need cash, they need cash. They don't care where it comes from. All things drop because they sell it. In the March downturn, you saw gold drop just as well. It didn't act as a hedge. Why? Because there was a liquidity issue. And when people need cash, they don't care if it's their car, their house, their dog, they're selling it to get cash, and that includes Bitcoin. So just remember that in a market cycle downturn. But there's also those short-term movements. So when you have Bitcoin, and you'll notice this, folks, when you look at the charts and you look at the screener, when you have Bitcoin going up dramatically, you may notice there's a slow rise in altcoin or even a drop in altcoin. Why is this? Because money's flowing to the alpha. When Bitcoin crashes, wrong word, I don't want to scare anybody. When Bitcoin dips as it goes through its trading through the week, you may see a big rise in altcoins. Maybe Bitcoin drops $1,500, $3,000 over the course of the week. You may be in the community going, why is Petruccio getting all excited? Why is he happy? And that's because when money leaves Bitcoin, it tends to drip into altcoins. And that's why they tend to sometimes have that influx non-correlated influx during the course of a week's trading. That's all I have.
Absolutely. And just real quickly before we wrap up, Nichols, how do you see all of this playing out?
When Bitcoin's at the end of its cycle, I'm going to take a lot of profits out of other things as well, just in case, because it could go badly. But I like the short-term view of it. Don't try to decide what's going to happen the whole market up. Think about what happens along the way. Joshua, he left, but he has tremendous research about Bitcoin and altcoin cycles. That it's not just all at once. It's sporadic. Boom, boom, boom. So you have to keep being ready to move if you actually want to take all of it. And I don't try to trade that much. That's even beyond me. But having money in alts and having money in Bitcoin means I can catch some of both of it whenever it happens.
Exactly. And, you know, the bulk of my allocations are actually in altcoins. I joke about being an ETH maxi, but I have far more of my capital allocated to ETH, to DeFi projects, to Voyager than I have in Bitcoin. It's not even close. So, and, you know, it's different strokes for different folks. What are you trying to accomplish with your investments?
Yes.
Do you want steady appreciation like you get from Bitcoin majority of the time, or do you want maximum upside? And are you willing to stomach that risk and ride, you know, the roller coaster that is all these DeFi projects? Ultimately, it's what you can handle and what won't keep you up at night, or what you can live with being kept up at night by, and that's what you should be trading, regardless of what that is. The data we have here on Trade the Chain, the research that Dennis provides, and all of the insights provided by Trading Nichols, by Weston, by Alex, we can help you get through that and make the most informed decisions possible.
And by the way, the community helps me. I know I've taken a lot out of the community back. So
Yeah.
thank you for that.
The
Yes.
community
A lot
as
of
well.
smart people here.
Yeah, we got to run, but real quickly, I want to let everybody know we're gonna drop today's Trade the Chain episode in a couple hours. I also want people to know, you know, hey, we love Voyager, we love, you know, Steve is a good friend of ours, and they're having a good run. We don't get endorsed by anybody or paid by anybody. We go with projects that we believe are fundamentally correct and are on the right trajectory. You'll see us coming out shortly with some other coins that we like, with other projects and the founders who we're friends with. So that's how we do our coverage of things.
Alex, also, it's worth remembering, I tore into Voyager last year at one point.
I believe the best comment I ever saw was yesterday's video. What did that person they said? They said, "Hey, didn't Sweater Boy sell all his coins and then buy back in?"
Yeah, I sold them.
I did it too.
I sold them.
Totally did it too.
I didn't want to bring it up.
I said the coin's worthless. There's no incentive to hold it. It's circling the drain, and I'm tired of it dragging down my portfolio.
I'll let everybody know a couple that I'm watching. Again, not financial advice. So here's a few that I'm watching right now, that I'm feeling confident in. Obviously, you know, Voyager, loving no Steve Ehrlich, the CEO. I'm looking at CHSB. CHSB is another one I'm looking at. Cyrus Faisal, good friend of mine, love him. He's CEO and founder of that company. They're much like Voyager, building a really good community. They have a really good community, have a great loyalty token program going on. I met with them last week for my day job. There's actually some good token stuff coming up in the next couple of months. I can't say too much to that about it, but as I can, I will divulge that. Also, I like KNC. I've done this over and over with CJ and Ryan on the show. I like Kyber Network because I believe they're a heavily undervalued DEX right now. And as you've seen Sushi and you've seen Uni go up in value and locked value and have their locked worth, you'll see that KNC's market cap has gone up over 30% just in the last 6 weeks alone. It's undervalued at $2, $2.15 range. I believe that's going to fall into lockstep with Uni and Sushi and go very many times over. Let's see, one last thing. I like Aave. A lot of people find it overpriced at 426 or 429, whatever the price is right now. Stani's a neighbor of mine, love him, the founder of Aave. I know the projects they have going on intimately, and I think there's a lot of value to be dealt in there. And then some speculative stuff that I'm liking. Stormex. I will disclose, I'm taking a position into Stormex, Ryan, who, that was a good trade for you, Ryan, right?
Yeah, I made 132% or 162%.
That's absolutely
I have
great.
to look it up. I have to look it
That's a
up, but
good
yeah.
trade.
I
It's a
don't
win.
believe 100% in their business model. I think it's filled with a bunch of affiliate links and stuff like that. I'm actually going to take a look, but it does have a network effect metric that you can assign to it. So at one penny, what is it? 1.1 penny, whatever
Is that
it
a
is.
penny? Yeah, 1 penny.
Yeah, I mean, I see potential for a pop-up side on this. So Stormex is one that I'm following. I've already, I went to Chainlink at $6. I've already gotten my money out of Chainlink. It's 35. I still hold the position, but I don't know how much longer. And that's it. That's my 2 cents, folks. Sorry to ramble on.
And what's crazy is I held on to StormX too long. I would have made 200% if I had sold it 1 hour sooner. I got greedy. So that just goes to show, take profits when you have them. Don't be greedy.
Yeah, Robert, I
Yeah,
don't
good
have
point.
an opinion on GNY. I have seen it show good in the charts on a couple of occasions as it's gone through its trading cycles, but I haven't, it's not, I rotate in and out of coins that I cover. So I'll cover on my own, let's call it a spectrum of about 30 coins. And I'll try to get into the weeds as much as possible, or some of them that are speculative. And I'm just like, hey, bud, you like it? I like it. Let's buy it and bump it. But it's only about 30 because that's all my mind can handle before I start fizzling out. And I rotate those 30 in and out.
Awesome. All right,
You
we
said
have to
Avi,
go,
right,
everyone.
Mark?
Thank you so much for
Avi, right?
watching and joining this AMA today. We really appreciate it, but we do have to go if we want to get Trade the Chain to you this afternoon.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you,
Thanks,
everyone.
everyone.
Trade safe.
Bye.